Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of First Impressions. Although in this one video, I'm going to be giving my first impressions and my current impressions. So, this episode I will be reviewing PETA's new game called Pokemon Black and Blue. And I'm going to start out by saying, I have a lot of issues with this, but, it's kind of interesting. I'll have to explain really from the beginning. So I'll start with my first impression of the game, which was that it was a complete attack on Pokemon in general, and it was outlandish to me because I read, reading the first text box, in my head that this was PETA going up against Pokemon. I was thinking, you've done no research at all. You had no idea what you're talking about. And I didn't even understand why they were attacking Pokemon at all. Any fan of the games or even the television show knows that Pokemon is all about treating the Pokemon as companions and friends and love them, and everything deserves, all that respect, and, it just kind of seems something that would be right up PETA's alley, from what I know of them. So, it just... I didn't understand why they were attacking the game. I mean, yeah. Okay, I understood that they were taking Pokemon at face value. Yes, you capture the Pokemon. Yes, they fight each other. However, they fight each other to become stronger, to become personal growth. It's the trainer and the Pokemon working together that makes them stronger. They form a bond of friendship, which drives them to overcome obstacles and come closer together as companions. That's pretty kumbaya, I think. Despite the fact, that you capture them, that it's beside the point. The ultimate moral of the game is to show respect to all living things. So then I got to the first fight, and I was just sick to my stomach because it was completely... It didn't even grasp anything that Pokemon has to do at all. It was just messed up. There was no research put into it on PETA's part from the perspective that they were attacking Pokemon. And I was sick of it. I couldn't even get past the first battle. I just shut the game down and I was done. So then I realized I couldn't judge the game completely until I had played through the entire thing. And so I forced myself to play the entire thing. It took 5 minutes of my time. And I came to realize that the game wasn't necessarily attacking Pokemon. Yes, there are very strong Pokemon is wrong undertones. But the main thing that I came to understand was PETA was just going by their normal, stop animal cruelty and stuff. They were just kind of hopping on the Pokemon Black and White 2 train, trying to steal hype away from that. Like, this is popular, let's put this out to kids so that they'll see it, and it's Pokemon, so they'll like it, and they'll get our message. I believe that is their reasoning, and it's kind of flawed, and let me explain why. Animal cruelty is totally wrong, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that PETA is stupid as a whole. I'm saying that this game that they put out is majorly flawed in a lot of different ways. So, the first one being that my first impression was that it was an attack on Pokemon. And most Pokemon fans right there, they're going to have lost their entire message on them. All they're going to see is that you're attacking my childhood. And that's bad. It doesn't matter what you're saying. You've opened war against everything that I love from my childhood. So, starting off, that was a big issue. The humans are completely misportrayed. Professor Juniper especially, the Pokemon professors are the ones that teach the kids, especially, to love the Pokemon. That is their MO. Besides Pokemon research, which Pokemon research in the game is just simply, studying and learning more about Pokemon. They don't do test experiments on them, which is what PETA claims in the game. You know, which was another reason that clued me in that they weren't talking about Pokemon per se, but really just animals. And, okay, that's all well and good, but you went about this the wrong way. So, the Pokemon professors were completely misinterpreted, which, again, to most fans of Pokemon, it's very confusing, because, they don't know which message you're trying to portray. It's just, the entire thing comes off as you not knowing anything about Pokemon. And that's going to lose a lot of listeners to your message. So, I mean, I don't think the game was meant to be taken 100% seriously. At least not as an attack on Pokemon. There are points in the game where it kind of satirizes itself in a way. It's, I guess you'd have to play it to understand. If you don't want to play it, that's fine. Yeah. There's not much to say. The game was dumb. It was a satire, and I realized what the message was supposed to be. It was just delivered in a terrible way. Stealing hype from Black 2 and White 2 was not a good way to get your message out, because it just makes you look like you're attacking Pokemon. And maybe you do have a problem with Pokemon, but I go back to my previous statement that the moral of Pokemon is to treat the Pokemon like companions and friends and not as tools. That is the moral, and, I don't know why you're attacking that. I see no problem with Pokemon teaching kids to treat living things with respect and love. I guess this hasn't been so much of a review as it has been a response. Just kind of venting my feelings about this game. There are so many ways you could have done this better. You made a lot of enemies with the Nintendo crowd by this game alone. People can't see the message that you're trying to get across. They just see, Pokemon being completely misinterpreted. That's really all I can say on this game is that, if it is an attack on Pokemon, it's completely wrong, and there was no research put into it as to what Pokemon really is about, and they just took it at face value. And if it's not Pokemon, then it's just them getting out their message in a terrible, terrible way. So, I guess that's all I can really say for this review. I've given my opinion. Yeah, if there's something I missed, comment. If you want to vent your own feelings or something, feel free to comment or message me. I'll listen to what you have to say. If you wanna disagree with me, perfectly fine. Please tell me why. The one thing that I hate is when everyone is entitled to their opinion. But I hate when someone gives their opinion and has no research or evidence to back it up, because it just makes you look like a troll. So, if you're going to disagree with me, please give me evidence. Otherwise, I will not hold your opinion. I will not take your opinion into consideration at all. And please, if you can, prove me wrong. If you can educate me and make me prove me wrong in any way, and you have the evidence to back it up, by all means, prove me wrong. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for this episode. Tune in next time. I'll review Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And I'll see you then.